Hello, everyone, and welcome to From Fact to Fiction. Today, our guest is Andrew Diamond. Welcome, Andrew. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Andrew writes mystery, crime, noir, and an occasional comedy. You have 11 books now
Yeah,
that said feature cinematic prose, strong characterization, twisting plots, and dark humor. Um, you're educated in English literature, but
yes.
self-taught as a software engineer. That's how Andrew spent his career. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you started writing fiction.
Yeah, I studied English in college and in grad school, and I always did some writing. Often it was just things to amuse my friends, and was always a storyteller in company, a verbal, oral storyteller. Um, and some of my friends encouraged me to write, but I was really too busy working most of my life.
Mhm.
Um, until about 10 or 11 years ago, I had one friend in particular really pushing me to write something. And she was dying. I had promised her I would write a book
Mhm.
someday. She was dying, so I said to myself, well, I should get on this now. And
Wow.
I did. I wrote my first novel, Warren Lane, and I sent her a draft. I think she liked it somewhat, but that got me started, and it was a very good, like almost I would say necessary outlet for my mind, which has always been very active and restless. And while the software engineering um, can be very creative, it's much more rigid and limited in scope than writing fiction. So yeah, I started writing books, and
Wow.
I've been doing that consistently for a little over 10 years, and I've enjoyed it. Stephen King once said that he starts every book with this question, what if? Like, what if I take this person and stick them in that situation? What would happen? And he doesn't really know until he writes it. Um, and that's the same thing I did with Grid Zero. I was like, well, what if I take this handful of people
Mhm.
and throw them in this situation? And I have a good idea of like, if you want to cause havoc in the grid, I kind of know how that would happen, what you would have to do. So what if I took this group of people and put them in this situation? How would it play out? And the result is that book. And yeah, Sean was intended to be the main character. Danielle grew to be a much more interesting character than I had originally anticipated. And she actually turned out to be my favorite character in that book. And a lot of readers have said the same thing. Um,
Mhm.
but it's funny how when you're not necessarily trying to focus on one character as a writer, because there's no pressure to make them into anything in particular, they can just sort of become something that you didn't expect.
Absolutely.
And that happened with her, and I still have a soft spot for her.
Nice.